From the Amex Stadium in Falmer, the home of a Brighton Hove Albion side who sits sixth in the Premier League table. And you know what? They may just be ready for a cup run. Only once before have they reached the quarter-final of the League Cup. That was in 1978-79. But that's what's on offer tonight for Fabian Hürzeler and his team. If they can get past the holders Liverpool, who have such a strong record in this competition. Liverpool haven't lost a League Cup fixture since Manchester City beat them in December 2022, and they come into this after a season of really formidable Premier League form under their new coach Arne Slot. Both teams come into this off the back of very different 2-2 draws at the weekend. Liverpool twice coming from behind at Arsenal, Brighton throwing away a 2-0 lead late on against Wolves. No extra time tonight. It will be decided in the 90 or indeed on penalties, and with Brighton dreaming of a major trophy and Arne Slot taking these cup competitions extremely seriously, we could be in for a real treat here. So it is Brighton and Hove Albion against Liverpool at the Amex Stadium. I'm delighted to say that Stuart Robson is alongside me for this. And a difficult place for Liverpool to come tonight. Of course, a Premier League fixture coming up at the weekend. How does that change the dynamic, do you think, of tonight?
I don't think it changes the dynamic in terms of how they're going to play, because Brighton will play the same way as they've played all season. They're going to hold a very high line. They play an offside line just over the halfway line. They'll play good passing football, but I think we can say the same for Liverpool. They like to play it forward, but they do pass it a little bit more than they did under Jurgen Klopp, but they will still play balls in behind. What I said was a very high line by Brighton. Should be a good game. Yeah, it really should be. Brighton have made it very, very tough to come here. They've lost only once this season. The only defeat, the 4-2 at Chelsea. They've beaten Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur here this season, but they have also drawn with Ipswich and Forest and Wolves, and that kind of shows you where Brighton are under, of course, a very talented young coach, the 31-year-old Fabian Hürzeler, who was recruited having won Bundesliga 2 with St. Pauli. And he settled in pretty well, replacing Roberto De Zerbi, which is always a difficult job to do. De Zerbi did so well, following Graham Potter, of course, into the club. And you do always sit back at Brighton and think, wow, they've come a long way in a short time, haven't they? Well, they get players from all around the world. They develop them, they sell them on, they get more players coming back in. When you look at the Brighton side, they're not household names, but there's some very good players amongst this squad. Van Hecke's settled in really well. Some players that have been here quite a while. Lamptey, for instance, will play it right back and loves to get forward. Doesn't always see first-team action in the Premier League. And it's good to see Ferguson, a very promising centre-forward, who likes to score goals, but is also a good hold-up player as well. Yeah, absolutely. All we need now is two teams. And just quickly from you as well, what have you made of Arne Slot's Liverpool then? Of course, the ultimate tough act to follow, but he's followed it pretty well so far. He certainly has. He's got the players happy in what they're doing. The players know exactly what they're trying to do. I watched them a lot in pre-season in America. I was out there at the time. You look at their warm-ups, they try and pass the ball forward. They're looking for midfield players to get turned so they can play the next ball forward. But they are more composed on the ball than they were under Klopp. But they will still, every so often, hit that ball in behind for the runners, like Gakpo, like Diaz, and at times, Szoboszlai, who makes runs from midfield. 10 times Liverpool have won this competition. Darren Bond, our referee, leads them out. Liverpool, the holders, may be there to be challenged tonight. Special night here in Brighton. Special feel to it. They like to make it special here in the hope that their team catches fire and performs. Sussex by the sea, indeed. 8 changes for either side, so neither at full strength. Liverpool in particular suffering with injuries. We'll confirm team news in just a moment for you, but certainly a sense that this is somewhere near a 50-50 game tonight. Well, as expected, Brighton make changes, 8 of them in all from the team that drew against Wolves at the weekend. The 3 who keep their places are the 2 centre-halves, Igor and Van Hecke. Ferdi Kariolu also remaining. Jakub Moder makes only his 2nd appearance of the season. Evan Ferguson gets a chance to build on his goal against Wolves. Simon Adingra's been in great EFL Cup form in this campaign, scoring in both previous rounds against Crawley and Wolverhampton Wanderers. So that's the way that Brighton and Hove Albion
will line up. Watch out as well for the flyer Lamptey down the right-hand side. Arne Slot also makes 8 alterations to his team. Andy Robertson is the only member of the back 4 to remain. Vítězslav Jaroš makes a first Liverpool start in goal. Tyler Morton also comes in, while Connor Bradley is fit enough to start after all. And Jarell Quansah gets another EFL Cup chance at centre-half after his difficult start to the season. Curtis Jones and Luis Diaz are the other 2 players who remain from the Arsenal starting 11. Cody Gakpo will hope to add to his 6 EFL Cup goals. And so we're ready. 3rd time that they've met in this competition. Liverpool successful in the others. Brighton put Liverpool out of the FA Cup in both 83 and 84. 83 was the famous year. Of course, they won at Anfield. Jerry Ryan and Jimmy Case with the goals there. Jimmy Melia was coaching Brighton, former Liverpool player, got a standing ovation. And the following year, Ryan again and Terry Connor with the goals. Happy days for Brighton, their previous happy days. But they're very, very content now, and anything like that tonight in this competition could be the perfect night for them. Thought you'd enjoy the mention of some of those names, Stuart.
Oh, Jimmy Melia and his white dancing shoes that he wore to Wembley, if you remember.
Yeah, I certainly do. Those truly were the days. Liverpool famous for white suits, Jimmy Melia with the white dancing shoes. Well, we're ready. First time for Darren Bond to be in charge of a Liverpool game. Brighton have lost only 1 of 8 with him in charge. There is Arne Slot. Won the Cup with Feyenoord. Won 11 of his first 13 games in charge. Any cynicism or doubt surrounding his appointment has been put to bed very, very quickly. Brighton unbeaten in their last 3 home meetings with Liverpool. A sense in the air down by the sea that they have a chance. Liverpool get us underway. A touch straight away for the Czech Vítězslav Jaroš. Had 4 loans away from the club, on loan at Sturm Graz. Last season, 1 substitute appearance in the Premier League, and his opposite number, Jason Steele, more of a hardy perennial at Brighton. His 7th year with them, but it was already announced by Hutzler that he would start in place of Bart Verbruggen tonight. Here's Lamptey. So much pace and hustle. Now Gruder. Here's Enciso, the former winner of the Paraguayan Cup 5 years ago with Libertad.
Well, he just might have a free role, Enciso. He's going to play in behind Ferguson, but already we've seen him get on the ball 2 or 3 times. Very lively player.
17th League Cup appearance, by the way, tonight for Joe Gomez. Moves ahead of Quivin Kelleher. And that number for Liverpool, who sits on the bench with Jaroš starting. It's a slight niggle there early on for Curtis Jones. Not ideal in the opening minute of a game. On a cold night as well.
Jaroš took a real chance there. So did Gomez.
But this is the upside of it. Liverpool creating space, doing so intelligently here. Robertson was climbing. Now Gakpo does well to keep a hold of that.
It does look as though Liverpool, Dave, are playing with 2 holding midfield players. Morton and Endo are going to be that little bit deeper.
Good start from Bradley. Doubts about his participation. He's been struggling with an injury. Arne Slot, in his news coverage yesterday, said he might be on the bench.
Well, again, I saw him pre-season in America. He was absolutely outstanding. at right back. There was talk that he might displace Alexander-Arnold in the side. That hasn't been the case so far this season. The player that has struggled has been Endo under Arne Slot.
Rather like Jason Steele for Brighton. Endo was announced at the news conference yesterday as pretty much a certain starter, as see a fair bit of talent sitting on that Liverpool bench. Messrs Salah and Nunez.
World Cup winner in McAllister.
Of course. Former Brighton player in McAllister as well. Dear me, Steele similarly taking a risk. Now that was down to a poor first touch rather than a bit of confidence, I think, but he recovered well and has to again. Twice closed down. Got to learn your lesson there. Goodness me. That could have got anywhere, Stuart.
He's had a couple of really bad moments here. Takes far too long on the ball. Nearly has it intercepted. He gets lucky.
There's Van Hecke. Now Igor, former Coppa Italia runner-up with Fiorentina. The ultimate knocking on the door team, Fiorentina, playing well in Serie A at the moment, his old club. Now Liverpool close to overplaying.
How many goals have you seen scored over the last couple of years where players have tried to play out from the back, or teams have tried to play out from the back and they've made mistakes?
And Ciso gets it out from under his feet. Touch was a heavy one from Vifa. Diaz thought he was being fouled, and in the end, the referee agrees. Kadiolu, I think that's good refereeing from Darren Bond, tried to let it develop and then pulled it back.
Yeah, Diaz is playing out on the right-hand side. They're not actually playing with the centre forward at the moment. Szoboszlai and Jones are trying to make runs from deep in midfield. Gakpo's going to play on the left-hand side and Diaz on the right-hand side.
Gakpo does well to recover his feet there. Referee got in his way. Flags up over on that far side against Diaz.
Yeah, that's going to be a good battle. Diaz up against the left back, Kadiolu. Important game really for Gakpo. Just caught there, Szoboszlai. He's playing slightly further forward today. Oh, it's a nasty one as well, right on the shin.
Yeah, Ferguson studs a touch high there. And Steele under pressure again. Szoboszlai closing him down a third time. He has to learn his lesson here. This time he takes it first time and, yeah, ends up okay, but a few Brighton fans would have had hearts in mouths there, and they've given it away again, and this time Steele can come and get it. They've got to sort this out. Here's Lamptey to take them the other way. Liverpool's turn to give it away, but Endo was clipped by Enciso, and it's a Liverpool free kick. But analyse that for us, Stuart Robson.
Well, the goalkeeper, Steelers, looked very shaky. Then Van Hecke gives it away. It's fortunate the ball was just slightly overplayed, but he looks very nervous at the moment still. I think the crowd are nervous as well, what he was trying to do. Then I'm not sure he knew where he was playing that. He was just getting away from the immediate danger. He might be advised just to hit 1 or 2 balls first time as it comes back to him, and a bit longer.
Yeah, it is still okay to put the laces through 1 or 2. Not many of them have laces anymore.
I was talking before the game about Brighton playing a very high line. That's not been the case in the game so far. Maybe Herzl's noticed that on a couple of occasions they've been exposed, so he's playing a much deeper line at the moment.
Brighton again, nearly caught in possession. This time Moda, the pivot player in midfield. 9 of his last 10 appearances have been for Poland. Jakub Moda hasn't been part of Brighton at all, really. The only other appearance was the EFL Cup game against Wolves. Starting here against Liverpool. It's a night so far to test the touch of both goalkeepers. Wide from Vifa, there's Kadiolu. Picked up by Gakpo now. It's an entertainingly scrappy opening, this.
And played at a high tempo as well. Both sides trying to win the ball back quickly. On this occasion, Brighton have got everybody back behind the ball.
Now Tyler Morton. Zipped forward by Tyler Morton. Lamptey recovering well.
That forward run you saw from the Liverpool player, making his run right through the middle, was the right back, Conor Bradley. Morton almost found him with a very good pass. Shows the positional rotation that Liverpool do have at times.
Yeah, it's really smart, isn't it? Robertson almost tucks in as a third centre-half and allows them to spread the play. Of course, he likes to be a buccaneering runner himself, Robertson.
1 or 2 problems at the weekend, didn't he, against Saka in that game against Arsenal defensively.
Cleverly floated forward, though, here towards Gakpo, who's just offside.
Run from outside to in, but he is offside, quite clearly. Nice ball played by Robertson, but Gakpo just bent his run a fraction too early. Versatile player, can play anywhere along the front line. Gakpo, at the moment, being preferred out on the left-hand side.
Scored in his first 4 League Cup appearances for Liverpool. Cody Gakpo took a real liking to this competition and scored 2 in the last round against West Ham. Jan-Paul van Hecke. Gruder. Igor. And Lamptey. Always love reading stories around games like this. Brighton fans of a certain age still talk about a great defensive display at Anfield, led by one John Crumplin, as Brighton try and turn this into attack. Oh, Lamptey's in! Good stop Quickly off his line, Jarosz, and Liverpool will look to counter. Cody Gakpo. He wants to cut inside and curl in action at either end, but it remains goalless.
Well, we talked about the right back, Conor Bradley, making runs for Liverpool. That time it was Lamptey racing through the middle for Brighton. See, he's onside when the ball's played. It's a good ball over the top. Two centre-halves are too high up the field. The full-back, Robertson, kept everybody onside. But once he gets there, Lamptey's just got to lift it over the goalkeeper. Yes, it's a good save from Jarosz with that trailing arm, but that was a big chance for Lamptey.
His last goal was November 2022 in this competition against Arsenal. It's a big, big opportunity to add another there.
The two centre-halves for Liverpool got that all wrong. Player had time on the ball at the back for Brighton. They're trying to squeeze the play. It was an easy run in behind them. And Robertson wasn't in tune with the two centre-backs. And was that 2 or 3 yards deeper?
My All Eye Yesterday story about John Crumplin was very nearly interrupted by a Brighton goal. Of all things, here's Enciso. Lamptey. The point I'm making is there's just a lovely folklore that grows up around nights like that and stories like that. Sort of I was there moments. All part of the fabric of these cup competitions, of every competition. Brighton trying to write some new stories here. And Enciso just got caught underneath it a bit.
It was good play by Ferguson to start with. Dringer's looked good when he's come in on his right foot. And Enciso goes past the first challenge of Endo, which wasn't a particularly good one, but just rushed his shot. Here's Conor Bradley, who, since coming into the team, I think has been a really good player for Liverpool.
Yeah, richly talented Northern Irishman, and one of those players that Jurgen Klopp used to talk about when he was in the youth teams at Liverpool, always very, very highly thought of. Here's Lamptey. Trying to bend it into that awkward area, but a bit too close to Jarosz, who started very confidently. Yes, with the footwork, was maybe a bit too confident, but he made a good save already and good handling too. A 23-year-old from the Czech Republic, and I mentioned 4 loans away. Liverpool don't keep hold of players like that if they don't rate them. Go out and loan to get the experience, but we still want you.
There's a good example of the two players that are in the centre-forward positions at the moment are two midfield players, Jones and Szoboszlai. Then the next two midfield players are the ones pressing.
Brighton able to play through that. And the rest. Need to be careful with those challenges. Home fans wanted something there. It was Simon Adingra cutting in.
Didn't make the most of the situation in the end, but that was far too easy for Brighton to play around the pressure and find lots of space going forward. It's interesting to see that Endo was really struggling to get back once he had tried to press the ball.
He was starting to tread water a bit. Robertson. Gruder. The arrival from Mainz this season. Under 21 international for Germany. A really interesting and normally pretty effective recruitment process. Brighton Hove Albion. Because Liverpool's recruitment over the summer was heavily criticised, or lack of it. Here's Szoboszlai. Now Cody Gakpo. He has options there. One of them was Diaz. Now Bradley. Here the visiting fans for the first time.
Diaz can't have been far away from that cross by Gakpo. He was shown the outside, he took it and just crossed it into a good area. And Diaz got across the front of his defender. Just looks as though it's a fraction too high for him in the end.
Great noise they're making. Liverpool fans trying to lift their players, and the home fans responding. Gomez. Big night for a player like Jarell Quansah after a performance against Ipswich right at the start of the Premier League season. Now Gakpo looks to shape it again. Gakpo this time was trying to pick out Luis Diaz's run. Endo just behind Bradley. Here's Gakpo, just ran into Lamptey. Lamptey was looking for a free kick.
It's actually good defending by Lamptey. He stepped forward just at the right time, and Gakpo then couldn't move the ball either side of him.
Seen plenty of the ball, isn't he, Gakpo?
Well, the runs that Robertson is making, which is sometimes through the inside left position, takes away the wide player, so it's easy to get the ball out to Gakpo.
Robertson advancing a little bit further forward, trying to pick out the run of Bradley at the far post. Did really well, Gruder, really smart play there. And then he wins the free kick. Szoboszlai fell for that.
Well, one of the things I was going to say about Gruder not so long ago, that it doesn't look as though he's going to run past anybody. Looks like he's a good manipulator of the ball. He'll come inside on his left foot, but that time he did run Szoboszlai. Got a bit lucky there, he fell almost into the ball. There's that burst of pace, which I didn't think he had.
The minute Szoboszlai puts his arm across like that, he's running that risk. Could argue the referee could have let it go, but don't make the challenge then. Goalless but lively. One excellent save by Vítězslav Jaroš to deny Tariq Lamptey. Although Lamptey will feel he should have scored. Normally plenty of goals around, and Liverpool are playing in this competition. 67 in the last 19 in the League Cup.
That finish from Lamptey was one made by a player that, as you said, doesn't score that many goals. And he was just happy to hit the target without really trying to deceive the goalkeeper or bend it round him.
And that's why, as we say always, those that see that finish, those who can execute, are the ones who get the big money. Because it is what wins you games. It grabs hold of moments like that. Looks easy, but it isn't. Here's Endo.
Brighton with everybody behind the ball. They're going to have to show some creativity here, Liverpool, to break them down in these sort of situations.
Diaz made a good run in behind there. He's trying to stretch them and make them think and get in behind his Szoboszlai. Now Gakpo. See that Brighton shape very clearly. Very well organised under Huertzler. And looking to seize on any heavy touch like that. Kadiolu going to apply the pressure.
Yeah, that was the left back coming out of his position to go and press the ball in midfield, then going and pressing Quansah. He knew that Adringa was back in the left back position.
I know he ends up committing the foul there, Kadiolu, but I quite like the combativity of that moment.
And so did the crowd as well. Just lifts the crowd. Can play in several different positions. At the weekend he played on the right hand side of midfield. Today he's playing at left back.
Here's Szoboszlai. Robertson with the first time cross. There's a Dingra to clear it away, and across comes Quansah. Going back to Jarell Quansah, how hard is it as a young player with a performance like that, when he was taken off against Ipswich, to come back from that? It's only really his second game back for Liverpool in the EFL Cup.
Had it been under Jurgen Klopp, it wouldn't have been such a problem, but this is a new manager, so he wants to prove himself to a new manager. The new manager takes him off after 45 minutes. It doesn't augur well, does it? And the manager's reason for taking him off was that he lost all the 50-50 challenges, so they needed a centre-half who could go and win the aerial battles in that game against Ipswich.
Yeah, it wasn't just the action, it was the reasoning afterwards. There's something almost cold about it, but Schlott trying to make his mark, as indeed is Huertzler. And with Jonas Scheuermann, youngest permanent manager in Premier League history.
He did a wonderful job, didn't he, at San Pauli?
Just feeling his toes, aren't they, to see if anything's broken there.
German coaches are a little bit in vogue at the moment.
They are indeed, and of course St. Pauli, the ultimate hipster club.
Former Dutch international. Third along there.
John Heitinger in conversation with Arne Schlott. Very earnest, doubtless very technical Dutch footballing conversation there. Now we're seeing a lot more of this, the camera gets behind and looks over the shoulder. Not sure I'd love that if I was them. I thought that the other day when I was watching on, but I suppose it's not being transmitted to the opposition, is it? Be funny if it was just a load of scribbles practicing his signature.
doing his shopping list for tomorrow. I think he's just highlighting the runners of the opposition, the shape of the opposition, and how his players match up against that, where the space might be.
Don't think he got many of his shopping list, did he, Slot, in the previous transfer window? Federico Chiesa arriving and struggling with injury. Brighton got away with one there. Again, struggling as they try to play.
He's been quite tigerish in the tackle, Morton. He's made a couple of runs from quite deep to go and close the ball down. That time on Vifa.
Here's Quansah. Now Robertson.
We've seen some quite good action, but apart from that Lamptey chance, we haven't had any big moments.
Here's Lamptey again. Yeah, I agree with you. It's been sort of lively, but relatively chanceless. Lamptey to pull that right across goal. And driven by Enciso, but not on target.
Well, I'd like to see this from behind the goal, because the goalkeeper, Jarosz, looks as though he was going the other way here. He was going the other way, it bent in the air, but not that much. I don't think you could see it as it goes past Quansah. He starts to go one way, and the ball's going the other way. He got very lucky, the goalkeeper. Good effort from Enciso.
It was a lot closer than it looked initially. It would have been a very curious goal. The old adage was never play a back pass between the posts, but it's gone out of the window here so far. Makes me feel nervous.
Almost seems like a badge of honour at times that both teams want to take some real risk, trying to play out from the back through their goalkeeper.
I'd say two coaches here who had difficult jobs to take on at the start of this campaign, and both have done really well. Slot obviously has Liverpool in really good form. Hurtsela likewise with Brighton, and they've really taken in this lovely community in Brighton to their hearts already. I noticed a local pizza company has already created a Hurtsela pizza. As he said, he was missing the ingredients from home, so it's a pizza with German ingredients. It's not one I'll be ordering, but it was nice of them to do it. Here goes Luis Diaz. Now Gakpo for Szoboszlai. This is better. Robertson to roll it across. Szoboszlai looked for the finish, and then Diaz heads wide. First big chance for Liverpool.
Two big chances in one there. Good play through midfield. Gakpo, I think, was trying to take that himself, just onside when Robertson plays the ball back. There's the first one. The second one, maybe the easier of the two. Szoboszlai just hits the target. That's all he's looking to do here. Probably should be aiming for one of the corners. And when it comes back to Diaz, doesn't quite get his head round it. Maybe more difficult as you see it again.
Yeah, if Szoboszlai was full of confidence when he was sort of peak Szoboszlai, maybe prior to Liverpool, I think he would have been trying to pick out a corner there. Last domestic Liverpool goal was back in January. One of those curiosities of the draw and the fixture list, that these two will go at it again with different teams. At Anfield at the weekend. It's funny when that happens, isn't it? How much does one game affect the other, even with team changes? Nicked away by Enciso. Gruder. They've worked this really nicely. Gruder's got lovely quick feet. There's Vifa. Keeper's effort was blocked. And then foul by Gruder.
I have to say, in the end, good defending by Liverpool. Every time they looked as though they were going to pull the trigger, Brighton players, Liverpool had defenders around the ball, closing it down. Very good defending in numbers, but also keen to shut the ball down quickly. As he comes in field here, one went, the second one went. Again, one play, it's good play by Gruder, he beats the first challenge, but there was always enough numbers for Liverpool around the ball.
See that red blanket just smothering them. That's overhit the ball for Luis Diaz, but he appreciates the intent. Real flyer down that right-hand side for Liverpool. 10 to go until half-time. Still goalless. Place in the quarter-finals of the League Cup up for grabs here. Brighton looking for their second ever League Cup quarter-final. Liverpool their 26th. Feels 50-50 at the moment, this. Brighton have had the best chance. Felt to that player, yeah. Lamptey.
You called him right at the beginning of the game a fly, certainly is that. I haven't seen him make too many runs from outside to in, but he did on that occasion. Big chance on his weaker left foot, but one he should have taken, or certainly made a better effort of it.
Not too many would beat him over 100 metres. Here he goes again. Now Enciso. Free kick for Brighton. Jones thinks he won the ball. Has a little look to the heavens and then gets on with his job.
There was a player that used to play for Liverpool that was an expert at making these challenges. Peter Beardsley used to slide in, wrap his foot round the ball and then run off the other way. And that's exactly what Jones was looking to do. But does he make contact with Enciso first? That's the question the referee had to ask himself, and he thought he did.
Enciso is lining this up. Gruder's there as well. Enciso is shaping like a man who's going to hit this. He does have real power. They've maybe seen that Jaros looks a bit shaky. Can he get it moving? In the end, it's floated by Gruder. Adingra got free, header back across, Jaros flapped. Flag was up.
Must have made his run a fraction too early here. Yeah, he did. You can see right across the line. Should never be offside there, really.
Yeah, fraction's kind. It was a bit more than a fraction in the end. He went far too early, didn't he? Just wonder if they missed a trick there after Jaros struggled with the swerve of that Enciso shot. Might have tried to test him again. He'd still be feeling a bit nervous about that.
Just had his hand trodden on, I think, there, Gruder. Always painful.
Gomez. Here's Endo. Now Szoboszlai with a bit of space in which to run. Gakpo. Robertson running ahead of him. Beautifully done. Steele sticks out a right boot to deny him. But that was excellent play from Liverpool.
Started by Endo, pokes the ball through for Szoboszlai. The timing of the run here is good, so is the weight of the pass. And he tries to go in at the near post. Steele does well with his right foot, because it was certainly going in. He was almost beaten there, wasn't he? You always say the goalkeeper should be going with his hand, but he just got his foot there in time.
In from Szoboszlai. Get another chance from the other side. Robertson's going to go across and take this one.
No Van Dijk, of course. He's the usual target for these balls played in. Scored the goal against Arsenal at the weekend. Quanta is good in the air, so is Gakpo.
Deep in swinger, got a Brighton head. I think it was Vifa. Final 5 minutes of a surprisingly goalless first half.
It certainly hasn't been short of endeavour and pace, and in some places some quality as well.
There's Morton. Now Szoboszlai. Doesn't do too much wrong, Bradley.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to take that on the half volley into the space behind the defender. It's always going to be a difficult first touch to manage that. A ball that was coming from that far away.
There's Endo. Now Robertson. Nicely drifted forward that by Quanta. Bradley had made the run.
That was that run I was talking about earlier on, that run from right back, almost through the centre forward position by Bradley. Robertson's done it on this side on 2 or 3 occasions as well.
And we saw Lamptey doing it nearly to best effect. Just a reminder that it would not go to extra time. That is saved until the semi-final, and of course, as Liverpool know from last season, the final, it would go straight to penalties, which seems to make a lot of sense. It's a miscue from Enciso. Gruder. That touch was never on, was it, for Van Hecker? And Brian Gruder. Little look up, waiting for support there. He wins the corner.
Just tried to play it between the legs of Robertson. Dragged it one way and then tried to use the outside of his boot to take it through Robertson. Robertson just about did enough. Van Hecker will be one of the targets. FIFA is also a tall player in there.
And it was aimed towards Simon Adingra. He leaves the throw here for Kadiolu. Can't believe there's going to be too much time added on at the end of this first half.
Just had that one injury, didn't we, to this player here. Seems to be okay now.
And the home fans appreciate the endeavour and appreciate the corner. Might just be Brighton's last attack of this first half.
Combination of zonal marking and man marking, but mostly zonal.
Well, you can clearly see what he's saying. Put it back. Referee had to run all the way over to tell him.
I think it was the Liverpool fans behind the goal that were telling him.
Adingra this time meets it. And you can see the intention. Looking to float it back across. Now he wishes he'd just put his foot through it.
Or he could even run at it and head it. Ball was in the air a long time. Twice they had a player at the back post, the same player from the set play.
Jonas Scheumann and Andrew Crofts with Fabian Hürzeler. Will Slot be happy, do you think, with what he's seen so far?
To a certain degree. I think he'd be happy with them defensively, apart from the one chance that Lamptey had, but they haven't created enough going forward. He's tried to change one or two things with the team shape in the front areas. Playing with two wide players who are high and two midfield players making forward runs through the centre forward area. Good movement from the fullbacks. But at the moment, haven't really created enough chances.
Yeah, game of much endeavour, but of few chances. Luis Diaz had the best one for Liverpool. Soboslai's shot was saved. Diaz headed wide, then Robertson denied at the near post by Steele. Lamptey came closest for Brighton. That terrific run and a really good save by Vítězslav Jaroš to deny him. Half-time here, Brighton Hove Albion 0, Liverpool 0.